This speech is not about Torah and Emunah, it's about understanding a little bit the functionality of the brain. There are a lot of people who feel bad about themselves. Some people feel bitter, some people feel sorrow, some people feel depressed. Some people are anxious all the time, some people fear and they don't even know what they fear. Some people are ashamed of themselves, they could be in their own room and still be ashamed. Some people don't feel comfortable being in their own skin, like there's something wrong with them. And some people are struggling to have success, and finally when something is going good in their life, they go and they throw it away with their own hands. And some people did it a few times in their life and they can't figure out why they're doing it to themselves. So let's understand how the brain works, the overall functionality of the brain. We're not going to go into details because if we go into details, we could talk here forever. There is a thing called the subconscious and the open conscious, or the open mind and the internal mind. The open conscious is the mind that thinks, the mind that has logic, the mind that analyzes. All the wisdom is the open conscious. The subconscious works like a director. It directs the open conscious how to think and how to respond to every circumstance. To give an example for the subconscious, let's say you have a thermostat in your house and you set it to 70. Now what's going to happen every time the thermostat will feel that it's above 70, it will send a signal to the air conditioner to go on. Now let's say you open a window or you open all the windows in the house and a lot of heat comes in. The thermostat will keep on sending that signal to the air conditioner to go on. Because the thermostat doesn't understand, it doesn't have logic, it's programmed. This is the way it's programmed, this is what it's doing. Similar does the subconscious work. Till around the age of 7, everything a child experiences gets into the subconscious, and the subconscious learns from that how to respond to circumstances. The subconscious doesn't have any logic, it doesn't have any understanding, it just does what it was programmed. And as far as I understand, even if something happens later on in childhood or later on in life, and the brain repeats it multiple times, it will eventually get into the subconscious and become part of the program. Now, what happens if a child received a negative message, if not multiple negative messages? Then that subconscious was informed on a negative way. So what's going to happen, that person will their entire lives respond to everything with negativity. So let's say if a person received a message when they were young that they are not worthy of something or they're not worthy at all. They're not worthy of having success. So for the rest of their life, that person will never be able to become successful because the subconscious thinks that they are not worthy of having that. Now what will happen if the person will actually become successful? The subconscious will instantly reject it because it doesn't know how to handle it. It knows only how to be a failure. The same way a thermostat instantly sends a signal to the air conditioner to go on because it experiences heat. The same way that person will instantly reject it because it doesn't know how to handle it. It knows only how to be a failure. And the same thing with love. Let's say a person was informed when they were young that they are not loved and they don't feel that they're loved. Now what's going to happen, that person will never be able to experience and appreciate love. Now what happens if they're actually going to have love later on in life? They will instantly reject it because they're not going to know how to handle it. And the same thing with every negative emotion, it all comes because the subconscious was programmed with negativity, and that's how the subconscious responds, because that's the only thing the subconscious knows. So some people might not know what happened to them, they might not remember, but if you experience this negative emotions, that means there was something programmed wrong in your subconscious. Now, if a person does experience negativity and wants to identify what the negativity is, so there's a trick. Go to a quiet place, let's say a quiet room. Then tell yourself something a few times that is true, and then tell yourself something a few times that is not true, and see how your body responds. Now, if you say something that is true, you should feel like your body is tilting a little forward, like, yes, I agree. And if you say something that is not true, you should feel like your body is tilting backwards, like, no, you disagree. And then there's a stronger indication. If you say something that is not true, then your emotions are going to be agitated and you're not going to be able to accept it. You're going to feel like a rejection or a lot of pain in your emotions. So the best thing is start with your name. So you go to a quiet place, you stand up straight, you close your eyes, you relax, and tell yourself your name. My name is this and this. My name is this and this. My name is this and this. Like, say it a few times, 5 times, 10 times. And if you say your true name, then you should feel a tilt forward and feel good because that's your name. Then tell yourself a wrong name. Let's use the name John Doe. So let's say I'm going to tell myself, my name is John Doe a few times, but my name is not John Doe. I will start feeling a rejection and I will feel like I'm tilting backwards because it's not my name. So once you establish the feelings when you say something that is true and something that is not true, something that your subconscious is familiar with and something that your subconscious is not familiar, now you can start with emotion. So let's say tell yourself, I love me, I love me, I love me, a few times over and over and over again, and see how your body responds. If you actually love yourself, you feel good, you love yourself. But if you hate yourself, then you're going to feel a rejection and you're going to feel like your body is tilting backwards. Why? Because your subconscious doesn't know what means I love me, because it only knows hate, not love. And the same thing is about believing you're a good person. So you tell yourself, I am a good person, I am a good person, over and over again a few times, and see how your body responds. And the same thing is with success. Tell yourself, I deserve success, I deserve success, over and over again, and see how your body responds. So now that you realize you have these negative feelings, let's say you hate yourself, or let's say you don't believe you deserve success, what is the solution? As far as I know, the best thing to do is to tell yourself on a calm way, multiple times, the opposite of your negative emotion, and let it sink into your subconscious. Meaning, let's say a person realizes that they don't love themselves. What they should do is, on a calm way, every day or a few times a day, tell yourself, I love myself multiple times. So basically what you do is like this. You calm down. You have to be calm, because if you're going to do it under stress, your subconscious will just reject it and you're not going to accomplish anything, and you might even make it worse. So you calm down and you tell yourself, I love me, I love me, I love me, over and over again for, let's say, a minute or two, on a calm way. Now that's not going to make you love yourself right away. What that's going to do is going to send in a signal to the subconscious to realize that you love yourself. Because think about it. Let's say you're a teenager, or you're in your 20s, 30s, or even 60. If you have been thinking negative since you're a young child, you can't change it from 1 minute to the next, not even from one day to the next. Your brain has been thinking this way for so many years, it will take a while until it will start realizing the opposite. So what you're doing is you're sending a message to your subconscious. It should realize it's the opposite that it's used to. And it takes a while for the subconscious to realize it and to recognize it and to be able to change the way it was programmed. So that's why you do it every day, slowly, calmly. And in the beginning you will feel a little confused and you have to fight it through. And then after a while, it will eventually sink into your subconscious, and your subconscious will start thinking that way. Now, a good time to do it is before you go to sleep. When you lay down in bed, before you fall asleep, that's when you're tuned in more to your subconscious. So if you tell yourself that positive message, it will go directly to your subconscious. Now, the same thing should apply to every negative emotion. So let's say you realized you don't believe you deserve success. So tell yourself, I deserve success, I deserve success, I deserve success. The same thing if you realize that you believe that you're a bad person. Tell yourself, I'm a good person, I'm a good person, and so on and so on. Take one emotion at a time and repeat it every day. And also you should know, if you feel a little overwhelmed, let's say the confusion gets too strong, take a break a few days. Because all you're trying to do is to get that message to the subconscious, and it will take time. And you have to do it slowly. And that's the way your subconscious will receive the message and change itself. Now, it makes no difference what happened to you in the past and what caused you to have these negative experiences. The only thing that matters is what impact it had on you, and now that you have this impact, how you should change it. We live today in a world of therapy. And as far as I know, most therapists, if not all of therapists, don't use this method. And the reason why could be because they don't know about it, or it could be because there's not big money in it. Whatever the reason is, they don't use it. And all the methods that they're trying to use are not working methods, because it's not going directly at the problem. It's going after the cause and after everything else but what the root of the problem is. This method deals directly with the root of the problem. You experience this, and this is the way you deal with it. I am not talking about people who have mental issues. Let's say somebody has bipolar or schizophrenia or other mental issues. In my opinion, those people should go to therapists. I'm talking about people who feel sad about themselves. They feel depressed, sorrow, bitter, all this kind of negative feelings. They don't feel good about themselves. They can't go on in life normal. They feel pain every day. Therapists don't have an answer to it as far as I know. And all I'm saying is based on my experience. I've been going around a lot of therapists for years, to multiple therapists, and I haven't gotten any help from them. Then I found out about this method without a therapist, and it changed my life. Now you can do whatever you want. If you want to go to therapist, go to therapist. If you want to try this out, try it out. It's your life, your choice. As we say, take it or leave it. I just wanted to share my experience. I hope you understand. Have a wonderful day.